happening. So sister yake alitoka kina Maju 2016. And then 2016 December he calls a scandal. Anatuambia nili apply chuo na ninaenda Maju sasa.
And the company is still there.
Kampuni iko hapo. The CEO. CEO and I was like, oh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a lifer. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm a lifer.
So like, my bro, so what happened is we decided we'll move offices. So because the office that we were in was a further ilikuwa mbali. So we changed offices to kind now smack in the middle of town. Around then I had started doing now another project. Hiyo hata ikuishanga. Nilikuwa ndio nimeanza kuingia Laravel.
I also did Laravel, but I started with Laravel before I started realizing who I am.
Nice.
Nick Laravel tika itu ba.
Well, Buddha is
identity ba.
You do is the quickest way from not back then it was the quickest way from just being an ordinary mwananchi to developer.
Very quick.
By the way, this guy is me. Msee amekuwa akisoma hii for nini anakuchapia project. Aya later unamwangalia like mbona msiandike code? Kwa nini muandiki code? Pia wewe unajua kuandika PHP vizuri. So here time I and then something else, the same old computer, so it's very slow. Nikahama kutoka Windows nikaingia nini Linux. So umejaribu ku set up Vagrant in Linux? Na VirtualBox for the first time. Kwambia alafu it's 2017, so the internet kwenye mko hampewi net mzuri sana, it's like 2 Mbps. It's still good, lakini ukianza ku download Vagrant najua it's the whole day. So for a whole 2 months I did nothing but go to the office, download Vagrant, kujaribu kuinstall, ina fail 2 months.
Kesho tena.
What?
Evo. Wow. In a fail, okay, so then now we did not find a new way of doing this thing. Because it was, for me, I had brought on someone, alikofanya property management. And they were like, if you build it, I'll buy it. And for a lot of money. So I will sit down, build a property management system for them that runs everything like, well, they will still do manual recording for payment na vitu kama hizo. But sasa sikuanga I needed to use Laravel because I would have been comfortable building something that Nico very very comfortable with. So 2 months go by and then a friend of ours alikonga huko akatoka akatuambia, by the way, so that is now 2017. The year of elections. Sasa elections pili. Now in the beginning, because elections was not happening, I think August. Tukaitwa tukambiwa kuna job huko hivi, kujeni tu muone mjaribu mnaweza mkapata. So we came, so now that is now when I joined Flag 42. So I think it was couple of February. Because my friend was saying this Nairobi market is better because unaenda kwa kila mtu Nakuru, and Nakuru is a very funny town business wise. It's you start a business, ishike tu hivi kidogo. Believe me, 2 months from the day imeshika, you will have 20 people who did exactly what you did. So you start a business, you are just sure like it's either you move out of Nakuru or you try to scale it in some other way. You're just sure there's going to be competition and it's going to kill your business
very fast.
Because like they don't hauchapwi kidogo. Mtu anakuja, si ulikuwa umeweka bei yako ni 550 250. So all your customers move
to the next. So a quick one, Kennedy, there's this question people fear when it comes to when they are coming up with ideas and implementing them. They fear that it has already been done. How can you approach that a question, a person who comes to you and ask you?
It is always done by someone else. Yeah.
In one way that.
Yeah, because so for instance, right now, you're given the same project, I'm given the same project, you're given the same project, and then you're told to draw the architecture of your project. I'm told to draw mine. You're told to draw yours. You realize like my point of view is very different from yours, and his point of view is very different from ours. So there is always, well, you will do something, and the like I always say, implementation is linear. So saizi tukiunda system tunajuanga kitu ya kwanza tunaona ni lini login. Una login, then your feature, alafu delivery, and then you loop. I think nilikwambia hiyo. Yeah, it's linear, but it's up hivi kwa feature that people now put in different trinkets. And then like your view, I'll say like, and then also tukitoka hapo, and then the go to market, and then the market will always influence what you want to sell. So if kuna mse mwenye like mse anaishi, nikichukua sasa mse anaishi Kibra, nimwambie nataka uniundie system ya hiyo tu property management za wa Kibra, you will build a different system to the one that mse mwenye anaishi Kasata kuundia, na mse mwenye anaishi Kilimani atakundia, na mse wa Runda ataunda. Because they will all serve those markets. So I think those ones, because like it's the same way that when Uber came here, they had to change a lot to serve our market, because the market needs, in as much as it's the same, we still want the same things, the needs are different. So yeah, it's always the needs. Okay, you keep
in Kenya, just come and with the product that you're sure it's going to work in this Kenyan market, and you're not ready to bend a bit.
There used to be like in 2013. After 2007, after elections, I used to have this thing that just disappeared. Ilikuwa itangwa zika ni usalama ama something, ushuhuda ama it was something. It was zika ni ushahidi ama it's something like that. I can't remember the name. And everywhere, like all the startups used to mention that thing. Ashindo kitu na hata ziona ikitumika huku. It was like, oh, meitumia hii kitu. It was something about social like social justice things, to help people report things to nini, and it never got traction. They got all the funding, but it never got that much.
There's an app that was called Mzalendo.
I don't think it's it. That one was a reporting application for hizo manini ma violences that happened during 2007 PEV. It was something attached to that, because people used to say like it happened, and then we need to find a way of not doing it. So it just ulikuwa unasikia inakuwa discussed in bigger discussions huko hivyo, but unashindwa, I'm a Kenyan, I should be using it, right? But just easy, it's like the best thing nasemanga that came out is M-Pesa. It was a project for Kenyans that Kenyans still use until today.
Until ever. I think I was today when I was coming back home, I was thinking in my mind, I was like, in 100 homes, 99.9% are using M-Pesa.
Very true. Very true. But I like what banks are doing, because they've not caught up per se, because even when you go to a shop, tabatil number. But banks are trying to bridge the gap. Like saizi, it's not as hard to get your money from the bank kitambo. So, but that has only happened, I think. Okay, I'll not mention banks. I think before 2019, if you tried accessing your money, Equity did something with the Easy Pay app.
Yeah.
And then now they have actually done something better. And then Loop was there, so they at least wale idea kufanya vitu nzuri na. But you see, I think at the end of the day is, if I want to redo something right now, I don't think I will stop. M-Pesa, I don't think I will stop. In as much as they have a thousand heads, there's still the main head that is there that was thinking M-Pesa, and there's something that they missed.
Obviously.
Because let's look at the need right now. And okay, well, kama wataitumia ni sawa. Market needs size. Currently the currency yetu ina lose do. So kama M-Pesa wanaweza kutuongezea tukadola hapo hivyo kando
Kwa M-Pesa.
Kishafika hivi unaitupa huko ndani ndio value yako at least ku maintain vizuri.
But what you're saying is true. Something came in my mind. There's this app called Loop. Sijui you are aware of it.
Kila mtu ajua Loop hapa.
Yeah, I think when they came to the market, for me, I saw it was a good idea, and most people were trying to do the same. Yeah. Away from I'm trying to lash its time.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's something you promised us when you were starting.
Yeah.
It's about the remotes. So far you still when I'm listening to your story and I'm someone who is following your storyline, to go place here, you don't want to be employed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so far you have 2 startups. Now you have a company that's called
no, it was Clickaway Technologies.
Yeah. So where did remote come in your career, like so far in your journey?
So everyone, okay, people say COVID was an enemy. So well, I 2017 we came here. We took a job with Flag 42. I stayed there until 2018. And then I was leaving, so I left, but I didn't go. So nikabaki hapa hivi. 2019 I got a job at Upesi. That's where we met, right?
That's where we met, yeah.
So I was still going to the office. 2019 going all the way. And then 2020 came, and something told me in 2019, because you still want to do, spirit of not being employed in a kufuata. Weka internet kwako and just like do a proper office setup. It wasn't a proper one. I had a good seat, a desk that I could work from when I got Nini. I was still running a side hustle projects. The nimestash bit bucket. They might never see the light of day. So I was still pushing those ones. So now 2020 came. And I was like, yeah, I can actually work from home. So because your time you saw the big shutdown started happening, and working from home started.
Boom.
Zoom meetings na kila kitu, and maybe, and then also saw the downside of it is it came with pay cuts.
Yeah.
Now we did not have people and things are very hard. You know now, 20% pay, whoop, gone. Yeah. So what happened was around the same time, I continued working for Flag 42. Then one day I'm scrolling through LinkedIn, and this company called Good Info just says like, hey, we're hiring someone. We are looking for. Kama unaweza, wewe niambie unalipwa ngapi? Just so I remember I reached out to the CEO and said like, hey, I'm interested. And what unataka ngapi? And I put in a figure that I was it's also a different story. Put in a figure that kwangu like nikipewa hii nitakuwa nimeomoka. So and I did the interview and I passed.
You got the job.
Wait. There are many guys I know, they are trying to venture in, me being one of them, to venture into remote. I think you were having the same conversation with Mike.
Yeah.
So many people they think that the process of acquiring the remote job is so curated. So how did you manage to get to even the interviews?
Yeah, it was because this is what I've learned. As long as you understand the basic building blocks of coding, everything else you'll pick up on the job. In the first 30 days of hata saizi niking'oa hapa hivi nikupeleke kwa any other business, after 30 days you will actually be a very wewe na kuandika code, you'll be very good. This is something I've seen everywhere. Eventually people catch up. Okay, some are slow because again, where your delivery and his delivery will never be the same. But everyone has pluses and everyone has minuses when it comes to work.
Yeah.
So what happens is, as long as you have the basic building codes, building blocks, you can take something and run with it, and you will deliver. you can deliver or you must you definitely will deliver.
On the business.
Yeah, especially kwa saizi vile kuna scrum master kwa hapo kila siku akuuliza na hii imefika wapi? Hii ticket you have a lot of tickets open. Funga. So so as even with such oversight, it makes managing people very easy. Like right now, if any of you were to open a business, no one will actually open an office right now. Even if me mwenyewe nitaka kuanza biashara, I think I'll just call guys, give them the deliverables, open their Kanban, tell them tickets zisonge. So as long as they're knocking off items and there's someone who's testing and confirming that whatever they say they'll deliver has been delivered, that's it.
So we know communication is very key when it comes to remote jobs. So what are your key components that you can help our viewers like in communication when you're working remotely?
But I think first and foremost, you, like everything else, you need to know your working style. So that when you say I will deliver, you work on delivering. Because I think the biggest challenge that kila mtu saizi yako nayo is if you don't deliver wherever you go, because if you're given work and you fail to deliver, trust me, you will not be there for long. You can get in because saizi if people were to send you an interview online, no one is and you find a way to beat the interview. ChatGPT, Bard, wote upenye interview alafu ufike huko ukute yes niliibia, lakini sasa now this is the real thing. People are telling you to deliver na
Ticket inasema hii.
Unashinda tu, kazi ni YouTube kwanza, unajaribu kushikanisha. So it is, I think you need to understand yourself and then at least work on delivery. I think that's key everywhere.
Now you've transitioned from mimi series yaandikwa na mtu to being remote. And so, now what's the difference from now you're employed? How does it feel? What's the difference?
Okay, I still believe you don't, the inner you never changes. The inner you never changes. What I realized is resources are now, at least now I have some resources. I can sit down, plan a whole team, do all those things we were discussing earlier, like write down your business, not business, that's not a business plan. Hiyo ni ya watu wa nini. Write down your architecture, your business model, present it to a business coach or a business analyst. They do the evaluation for you and tell you this is doable, this is not. Take it back now, break it down further, and then build. But now that is just like the tip of the iceberg. Then there's everything sana huku chini sasa ya kupigana. Huku ticketing, going to market, kutafuta watu, there's all that. There's kila mtu akiona startup unaona tu pale juu. Unaona kijana ameandika startup saizi yako na Audi. And Buddha, it's not easy. Even the owners who run these businesses, because you'll see guys, I think you all interact with people who run startups, so you know things like Y Combinator, all these Google Enterprise, trying you build the MVP and then you unayekelea nini. And all these things, everyone knows them. Well, they are very straight lines, are easy. Zamani ilikuwa ukiongea haikuwa nini. But you don't haufiki hapo mara moja. There's a very hard journey between kabla uanza ku approach the VCs to nini, to now being confident. Kuna ule mse mwenye ako sawa ku do everything alafu approach, and then there's a guy who will now go to the VCs with the idea peke yake and they actually get funded. So luck is different for people.
So a quick one, also a quick one. I don't know because time is not on our side. I wanted to know like what are the memorable and challenging experience you have had when you're working remotely?
I think the best thing is there's something I was telling a friend. So what happened was, after some time, I left Kudin for, I got another place, Azania. Then Azania did whatever happened. Something happened to Azania. Now became Equity. They are still there. Azania is still there. It's the hiring branch of Equity. But they were merged. So now what happens is, we now went back to the office. So now I'm no longer remote. I'm with the office, like mtu wa kawaida sasa.
So now this is the transition from remote now to the office.
Yeah, but okay, that cannot be said on on a podcast. Yeah. So that is how. So the advantages of working remotely is that what I realize is productivity when you're working remote is very high. Because you can choose to say, this is what I'm working on. I'll take 3 days and I'll work until it's done.
Yeah.
And then I'll take 2 days. Sinisha deliver kazi. I'll just answer my emails and show up, and then I'll have my cool off then.
Yeah.
So like it's easy to plan things around. The thing that I was saying is, I learned that, you see, people say work-life balance, but what that does is it takes your life and then it takes work and split them apart. So now ukona kazi side na ukona life side. So what remote does is it takes life and then it understands that your life is time. So there is work, there's everything else. So you get to spend time with you get to do the things that you are working so hard to enjoy, and still you get to work. So it does not become a balance, it becomes a coexistence of the two. Yeah, both work and life. And people don't see it like that most of the time. They're still trying to do that work-life balance. I'm telling them, no, you have 24 hours a day, you need to work and still enjoy
whatever.
The fruits of your labor. And I think that's the best part of remote, is you get to say this is life, and then in life there is work, and then there is now enjoying whatever I've worked for.
So in every engineer I've met, there's always these projects. So far, they say that they form the first what's the right word? The basis. Like when you present yourself, when you in your profile, you say, I've worked on this project and this project in this project. In your journey up to now, which are these projects that make that you can stand and say, you know what, I've worked on these projects and they are dope, man.
Oh yeah. I think I took up Upesi from someone else, and we actually got it to work. Yeah, it was running properly. It wasn't obviously like we still have little breakages, but it was our working application that the owner of the business was happy to actually go and say, like, okay, yeah, this is actually very good. This is working, and we can actually improve here and there. And we were running with it, and I really enjoyed that, because it's, for the first time you're seeing, I think there's joy in seeing someone accept your work. And people just think the money is the reward. It's not. I think the money is a very small part of the reward. The money is the why. I think of the why, but the joy is actually seeing something. I was telling Mike that if right now someone comes to me with a project idea, and I will not jump on it first. I'll give them a shock, like, do you have this much amount of money? And then when they're shocked, I'll tell them, okay, now still calm down. Let us first see the process, and first tell you if you're throwing away money or if we can actually help you improve your idea. And then after we have gotten to now seeing that, okay, now here there's something. Here there's some gold in the work. Then now we can now work with you and say, like, okay, let's sit down. Let's see how we don't have to pay us. Let's see how we can collaborate. See, the issue is money. I can put in a little bit on, you can put a little bit on. We can discuss ownership. One thing I do is I don't like running businesses because I know how hectic they are. But I like delivering for businesses, because businesses are it's a beautiful game that is there in business, but delivery is mostly on the engineer side. So especially, and then now still the engineers are a small portion. Yeah, because now there's the other part.
Convincing part.
No, hiyo sasa ni hiyo part yenye nimesema spendi kufanya hiyo. Yeah. So as long as someone has an idea and they have, because no one has an idea and they don't see the market. Yeah, that's something else nimeona.
Okay.
A quick grips on coding and programming. There is a post on LinkedIn you wrote about the essay. You said it looks boring. While people view it as boring, it is very important. How can you emphasize to our viewers who are out there and
building blocks
about the DSA?
Building blocks. I think okay, there is this verse in the Bible that says there's a man who builds his house on the sand, and then there's a man who builds his house on stone. So if you do not know data structures and algorithms, then you're just doing the sand thing. So you'd rather have an understanding, not this is the word I use. There's cramming and then knowing this how, but there's an understanding of how these things work and how they flow, and then now you can now build from there onwards. So that even when you go out, because I've seen people build very good. They do very good work. You test it hapo hivyo ina work vizuri, then people roll it out. And then it hits 10,000 customers. Customer wana load. Watu wanaloadiwa hapo hivyo. Hey, kitu I load. I load. And they have to come back and say, okay, yes, we truly develop, but we did not think that we could be handling this much nini. And all these fall back to data structures and algorithms. Yeah.
So when hapo tu ukiwa hapo, have you worked on a project that involved more than 20 people?
Yeah. I think for the past since I left Upesi, I moved from small teams because Upesi was a small team, and then now the collaboration grew where you are a small part of the team, then there's a larger part of the team. You're all doing the same thing, but there's larger things. Because at first I went to Old Mutual, and then Old Mutual was you are an Android developer in this small team, and then there's another team somewhere that is delivering something else, and all those things. So I think as you learn to collaborate, because still, in as much as your work is this, and you're still delivering on the same platform. So you have to make sure that you not break the other person's work. You have to be very keen to make sure that whatever you're creating is not killing someone else's work. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So Kennedy, it's been great.
Buddha.
Hey, it's been great. I don't know.
There's also this promise you told us you're going to give us on Java, because I know of friends who are so diehards of Java.
No, actually, me normally say, okay, Java is okay. It's a very, I think in terms of even operations, Java is the it, because if you look at the other languages that are being introduced, actually being built on Java first, and then they just layered onto. Like in Kotlin, I think Kotlin is one of those. Java. What else? I'm not sure about that, but I think they're all the same. So if you actually like Google and you look at runtime, you realize that it's C, and then probably C++. And then the Java, they are the top three. It's and then when you look at what now everyone is preaching, because now everyone is moving to Python.
Yeah, Python.
Yeah, it's actually Python. You realize that the runtimes are different. Python is also, but still, it is very effective, but it still taxes your linear lot. So you'd rather just stick with Java. The downside of it is you'll write way more code than ours of Python. Sikia msee wa NumPy anapewa kitu andika line 3. Kwa hivyo like 300 bado na code ya solution. So it's like that. It's like that.
So what do you see the future what do you see the future trends in Android development?
I think so it's getting good. I like where it's going. I have a feeling like as time moves on, juzi nimejipata nikifikiria of moving to backend. But as time moves on, Android is growing fast. And if when you're working with larger teams, you cannot start changing things ndani. There's a whole change process for things. So you fall behind kidogo, then you end up catching. So you really. But now for Android, things are getting better. Because before there was separation. Now there's the merging of code now, where you're no longer doing screens and everything as you merge. And the automation of the CI/CD process of Android is becoming even more cleaner. I think you hear things of Pitrise and Utukai. So as things are big, it's going to be much better. And then now there's the unification now of devices, because the biggest challenge of Android since the beginning is the devices. What you do Android? Unacrashiwa na Zeno sasa hiyo kwa Samsung yako inafanya kazi. Inafanya kazi hapo hivi. Lakini kwa hiyo you can afford the good phone where you are. We need to run in the worst. So I think with how it's going, they're going to be able to now create a unified platform that will serve all devices. That really the way it's performing on my Samsung is the same way it's performing on my Techno. The same way it's performing on my XT WWY 2Z. And phones that are yet to hit the Kenyan market. But I think at the end of the day, they're making servicing or maintenance of code very streamlined.
Because I feel even right now, for us when we are developing, it comes at a time, you see, like as we work with direct fundis, that some of them cannot afford these flashy phones. So someone will come with a phone that is Android 9 and maybe the update, based on the updates you've done on your app, it can't.
The features do not support.
So we experience this a lot. So we usually test from 9 to like now we are like 12.
But I think as a business, this is now. Let me just now throw this away from you. If this is a core business service provider on your platform, I think it's a high time you say, instead of now sending someone to out and getting them a phone, you just say like, okay, let's see if we can. How many service providers do we want to cap first to serve this whole area? And then you get them a particular device that you're sure they'll always be online.
You get a deal for them.
You can arrange that for them. Because at the end of the day, you can cap the number of people that you want to service with, and then now from there going onwards, you can find a way of them actually servicing these things themselves. Because how would I put it? There's something that everyone normally thinks. So Henry Ford, the guy who used to build Ford, the vehicle, realized that he was building something that the people who were building could not afford. So he cut the cost. And the funniest thing was that did not actually collapse the factory in other way, because now everyone has a Ford. They're buying parts from you. So your business is still going on. And then they're doing things with, like if you get this computer and you give it to 100 people, kuna watu watafungua waangalie vile inafanya kazi, and then they start tweaking it, wanaongeza RAM yao, wanaona hii processor work vizuri, and they were doing all these things, and they will take all those things and then they will adapt the good things that they were seeing out there in their own vehicles, and it will actually boost market sales. So I think it's normally the same. There's a cost that sometimes businesses are afraid of incurring costs. Especially when you go to a higher level, you realize that inafika mahali and you're just trying to cut any cost. Napita hivi nakuta mtu amesha stima kwa ofisi, unamwambia ni saa 7 zima hiyo kitu. And it's understandable because again you're not there to spend money, you're there to make money as a business. But also there are some risky decisions that I think you could look at it as a business and see, like, I think we could do ABCD to improve the way you're running things.
Before we close, this is the last question I'll be asking. You have talked about the performance when it comes to Android development. What is your take on deployment and when you want to scale your product?
I've seen, I think the good thing of now getting to where I am, I've seen the businesses where I have been, how they do deployments. But I believe that is, let me just put that aside. I have moved on and I've seen how big companies actually do it. Because let's pick Netflix. Talk about Netflix. Go to Snapchat. Everyone, I believe, ametafuta Snapchat, and you realize that they have a flavor for every market. Like there's the Snapchat Nigeria, Snapchat Kenya, and all those are different applications. So their deployments are actually very, I would say, very good. Because when they do releases, it's the same application, but it serves multiple markets. I've also seen this in majority of the places I've worked also. It's the same application, but it serves multiple markets. So synchronization of markets, but now delivering different products is something I've seen across all these places, and how they do it. And then also understanding flows and languages, because I know for apps like again Netflix, there is the Netflix China. If there would have been a Netflix Japan or Netflix China, it is not in English. It is in Japanese. So there's what we call localization. So the localization that is being applied in Japan is not the same as the one being applied here in Kenya. There is the same too with Google applications. The Gmail that is being used in local China is not the same as the one we are using here. But it's the same. It's literally, if you take your Gmail and you go with it to China, it will still remain the same. You can change the status to match what is there. But you're seeing all this. So the deployments are very different, but the way that they are doing them is able to update all these things or manage and maintain all these things while still keeping it local. And they have actually, the good thing is now majority of these companies actually have customized tools that handle the CI/CDs. Like I don't think Google does builds and uploads to Play Store. Then someone runs a CI pipeline somewhere, and then ikishafika huko hiyo mwisho, the deployment happens. And auto deployments, it's the same. Kama tume Jenkins,
the way we do deployment ya mobile we do it.
So in a ship direct to kwa store. So there's a team that just does those. So kazi yao ni kumanage the pipelines that they're sending. And I think well, based on how we are going, I think in the next 30 years, developers kazi yao itakuwa tu kupatiana commands, like, because you know what the customer wants, you're just giving a command. A ChatGPT copy just writes the whole of your code. Kazi yako tu ni kurun na kutest.
Nice. It has been nice having you, Kennedy. And I can tell from the wisdom I'm getting from this side. I don't know what Mike feels about it.
I hope it's good wisdom.
It's good wisdom. It's good wisdom.
Been waiting for this interview.
But now time is not on our side, as you can see. And lastly, this is on you. I wanted to give you this moment to communicate with the audience out there.
For them to even watch
coding life, and also
what you trying to like give out here,
and also for beginners, for those guys who are in the seniors, and also give communities out there who they can join, also a place they can learn, because I have seen you posting on LinkedIn your certificates courses that you can take.
There's at least the good thing is right now if you want to start to join the tech industry, it's very simple. It's not like our time. Like I think Mike shared with me that his journey was very different from mine. And I was there like, oh, if I would have done that, saa hizi nilikuwa nimeomoka. Saa hizi mimi na Saudi. But I think it's all about having the confidence and knowing, because like I said, if it does not feed you, it's going to be very challenging. All of us have domain names that we have. Like I have around 10. Watakeja.com, they're all there. They have been packed somewhere. And I don't want to release them because I always go like, one day I'll do it. But the reason why I'm not able to do it is because it needs time and resources. So you have to find your sweet spot. You have to know this is okay. You don't do it because you're seeing people with money. Trust me, you can just talk up hivi uende ukomboe shamba na huko hivyo kumoshala na huko ndani kabisa. Panda nyanya na and get the money that these guys are making. So but I think there has to be passion. Kidogo, okay, not a lot, just enough to push you to start. And you also need to give yourself some grace. Because you will fail a lot. And you have to be ready to fail, and you have to be na kama uko na kiburi hiyo tupa nje, because the next thing is going to be, as much as you're reading it from YouTube or wherever you're reading it, it's not the same as core ground. Core ground is really different. People actually build you more on the ground than actually those tutorials. Because there's one thing as a manga, I'm very terrible at reading documentation. So YouTube first, and if you fail, then now after I have had some degree of understanding, now I can now go back to the documentation and now confirm that okay, you were saying ABCD, FGH, and I'm just confirming now. You still eventually you end up reading it. So you now ukisoma now you understanding how potei sana ni kama So I think you have to give yourself a lot of grace. You have to want to be more inquisitive, and then you have to have kiburi chini. You go on a kiburi, you're not going anywhere.
Nice.
Mwambie wacha coding life as one.
Wawili zitiki wase wengine. Kama uko na yako, enda uone. Lakini kama hakuna,
Manze Kennedy, asante for showing up. It's an honor and a pleasure to just tell the story. We're trying to get these engineers to come out here and tell the story.
Energy.
So you already have our next guest.
Sure. Jamo, sure. Hopefully they'll show up.
For sure. Because we are trying to guide these young guys. I'm part of the young guys who are being guided. That's why I'm trying to get the guys who are been in the industry long.
And plus, I think also I've had a number of people reach out to me. People who are also getting through the courses you're going through. So again, I think as per finding opportunities for others, because it's a network that you guys are building. And if you can get a database of people who need opportunities and also who are providing opportunities, I think this is how it starts. And if you can connect someone to someone else who can help someone, I think it's always better.
We have a LinkedIn group we started,
Coding Life Members Community. So we are trying to do the same thing. We are trying to bring opportunities and also for people to get even jobs, because
nikunoma saizi, especially tangu this thing hit us. I don't know, people are saying kuna ka drought fulani kama itonga
now so nasamanga engineers wanapeana opportunities, but
they are
ni vile wase wanakuwa kwa this
even
you see people wanakuwa kwa this networks,
even mentorships and all that, it still happens. So and I think as people are learning the ropes, and when you're living somewhere and they're looking for someone, you can always refer someone to fill up your positions.
For sure.
Let's go it up. It was nice having you, Kennedy, and for those who are watching and you have not subscribed, hit that red button.
Hata mimi nikifika nyumbani naenda kuhit hiyo red button. When I get home, red button hapo.
For those who guys who want to connect with Kennedy, we are going to drop his LinkedIn link there on the description part. And if you want to ask questions, make sure you hit that comment section. Let the conversation start from now henceforth.
We'll find him.
And we know there are many things here.
If it's a question for you, we'll find him.
No problem. You have my number.
For sure.
Send me location.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,